Welcome back, Devils fans, and the boys lose a tough one in Boston this afternoon to the Boston Bruins by a score of 2-0. And folks, we just didn't look great today. We couldn't get much of anything going, not a ton of quality scoring chances. And these games are bound to happen, especially on the road, with half of your lineup being AHL guys. I mean, it is what it is. We got a miraculous win in Florida last game, and today we looked a bit sluggish and just outgunned by the Boston Bruins. Nicodaws with another amazing performance in net, making 33 saves on 35 shots against. And, you know, he kept us in the game. After that first period, I thought we could have been down 2 or 3 goals. Completely under fire, I believe 17 shots on net the first period. Completely under siege. Nico held down the fort and kept the Devils in the game. And in the end, we just didn't have enough to match the Bruins today, and these games happen. And let's just take a look at the scoring. In the second period, Coyle just kind of fools Dawes up with a backhander that squeaks by him. I think he wants that one back, and I believe he said such in the postgame. Not the best goal. And then nothing else in the second. In the third period, Pasta just crushes a one-timer. Cross ice pass, just blasts it by on the power play, gives them the 2-0 lead, and we just couldn't get anything going. We had a late power play, couldn't do anything with that, and then Frederick puts one in the empty net for the 3-0 win. Let's just look at some of the other game stats. Shots on goal, 31 for the Devils, 36 for the Bruins. Face-off percentage, an even 50 for both teams. We were 0 for 1 on the power play. The Bruins 1 for 4. We took 10 penalty minutes. The Bruins took 4. 22 hits for the Devils, 26 for the Bruins. 13 block shots for the Devils, 15 for the Bruins. 5 giveaways for the Devils, 10 giveaways for the Bruins. 7 takeaways for the Devils, 6 takeaways for the Bruins. Fairly even in all of the different stats from within the game. But the difference was the Bruins got slightly better chances, and that's why they were able to put 2 past Dawes before they got the third on the empty net. And we just didn't have any answers tonight, unfortunately. And these games happen, and we're going to have to dig deep now. And coming out of this game, aside from another Nico Dawes great performance, is yet another injury. Brendan Smith went down, had a little knee-to-knee situation, and who knows how long he's going to be out for. So now if he's out for any duration of time, again, we have to go to the well, go to Utica, see who we're going to pull up. I think the next guy on deck on defense might be Cal Foote. I guess if Smith is out for any sort of time, we'll see a call up, and I think it could be Cal Foote. And as I've said in a previous video, this is now the New Jersey Devils. A little combination of the Devils and the Comets. We are now the Devils. The new Utica Devils are going to keep marching on with a lot of holes in our lineup, and guys just keep getting injured. It's really unfortunate, and it's just part of the game, but it seems like this is one of the craziest years of injuries that I could ever recall, where guys are just going down left and right. But, you know, it was a snoozer. It was a snoozer in Boston today. Not a lot of great chances, and I think the biggest thing coming out of the game is that Nico Daws could be a player. I mean, he could be a real player. He looked great in this game again. The team completely deserted him and gave him no support. But I think that's the only silver lining I could come away with after this loss, is that Nico Daws once again had an amazing outing in between the pipes, and we better just keep seeing more and more of him. There was nothing he could have done more really to, win this game. We scored 0 goals and only really had a couple of decent chances. McLeod had that really nice one on the doorstep, I think, in the second period, where Swayman robbed him. And back to the overarching goaltending situation that we've talked about throughout the year. If we do nothing this year in net and just kind of ride Dawes, and hopefully, Vitek is just, at some point maybe we get rid of Vitek and bring Schmid back up. I don't know, but if we get no one else, Dawes should be the workhorse. And I think if we stand pat with the goalies we have for this season, Swayman, who had a great game against us today, he's a restricted free agent this summer, and I wouldn't mind the Devils going after Swayman. He could be a great goalie for years to come if we're able to pry him away from the Bruins this summer as a restricted free agent. So that could be an interesting play for the Devils to be making. And maybe that's part of the reason why Fitz is so hesitant to give up a ton of assets for a guy like Markstrom or even Merzlikins or any of these guys. Maybe he's just looking past the season and saying that there will be options come the summer where we don't have to lose as much to maybe sign a restricted free agent or find a goalie elsewhere. But we definitely need another goalie with Dawes, but he looks like he could be the hot hand for right now, and hopefully he could become something. I don't want to anoint him as the guy for sure. It's a very small sample size, but he's looked great in most of his games this year, aside from the one where he kind of got lit up. But, you know, another strong performance in Boston today. He looked great in Florida. That's worth keeping an eye on, and I'd like to see him get the majority of the starts for the remainder of this month for sure. We have back-to-backs with Columbus and Dallas, so I would begrudgingly accept a VTech start for one of the back-to-back games. But aside from that, I believe we should see Dawes for the rest of the month and really evaluate where he's at. And like another great performance from tonight, so I have no reason to hesitate putting him out there. I think he gives us the best chance of winning. And, you know, nicodaws, baby. Let me know what you guys thought of the game in the comments. And, yeah, it's just a tough one. It's just a tough one on the Martin Luther King holiday. Afternoon game, I got all excited, ordered the pizza, some sandwiches, had a couple of my friends over, and there was just not much to get excited about today. Not much to get excited about. Trying to think if there's anything else worth mentioning. Oh, it was a nice Shimo Nemitz takedown of Brad Marchand, the Rat, behind the play. There was a couple minutes where they tried to get chippy there, and Nemitz dumped him real nice. It was a real nice takedown for Nemitz on Marchand. That was a nice little play. But outside of that, yeah, not too much to cheer for or get excited for in today's game. nicodaws, another gem. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.